2024 is officially here, and with it comes an annual tradition at Cardlines, my 10 bold predictions for sports card investing next year. We got 10 that we're going to count down, but first, let's do the intro. Prediction number 1 is that Rarity continues to reign supreme, and we might even see a wider gap between the value of the rare cards and these overprinted base cards. Base cards from Topps, from Panini, any of them, they're all being overprinted like crazy. For example, look at the value of the PSA 10 Zion base Prism rookie. That was once a $600 card, and now it's selling for around $50. So if you're buying cards to invest, buy something numbered, buy something parallel, buy something autographed, because all of those are finite, and there's not 10,000 copies of each floating around somewhere in the wild. And if you're curious to really deep dive on the population of the card you're eyeballing, get on the PSA population report, push up your sleeves, and do a little bit of research. Prediction number 2 is that we see a surge in vintage. It was a really weird year this year in the NFL, particular when we had a lot of backup quarterbacks stepping into the spotlight. And I think collectors could get tired of trying to speculate who's the best player, and many collectors could turn toward vintage investing instead. Vintage investing is pretty safe because you know the legacy of the player before you ever buy the card, whether or not he made the Hall of Fame, and you're not at risk of the player being injured as well throughout the course of the season, so expect more and more collectors to get into vintage cards. Number 3, I think there's going to be a rise in the value of female athlete cards as well, and a lot of that is going to be just because of Caitlin Clark. I think this WNBA draft is going to be the most exciting in a while because we do have a lot of big names in the sport, big names with big social followings at that. Between Caitlin Clark, LSU's Angel Reese, Stanford's Cameron Brink, and a lot of other top talent, it's going to be an exciting year for WNBA cards, and in general, I think that's going to lift the value of female athlete cards across the board. Caitlin Clark's going to get some people to tune into WNBA games, and it might establish a new collection base there too. Prediction number 4, I think we're going to see the end of a lot of those 2020 startup grading companies. I'm not going to name any names, but you know who they are. In 2020, during the pandemic, when sports cards took off, a lot of startups emerged out of nowhere to start grading cards and get a piece of the pie. In general, we've been seeing the numbers of graded cards from the big companies go down, so I think that pie is shrinking to some extent, and I don't think these startup grading companies are going to survive. Both PSA and BGS are coming down in prices, so there's just not that much money to be made, and not that many people looking to grade cards outside of the legacy grading brands. This will be the last year we hear from quite a few of those startup grading companies. Prediction number 5 is that we're going to have a lot more social media visibility for sports cards next year, and a lot of that is going to stem from Topps and Fanatics. Fanatics has not grown an e-commerce empire by accident. They definitely know what they're doing when it comes to marketing. One great example of social media marketing comes from the Tom Brady Montreal Expos autograph and the campaign that Topps launched on his social media. More athletes could get involved, and I think a lot of high-profile influencers are going to get in the collecting space too. Don't be surprised to see Drake or Post Malone or other big-name celebrities opening cards with Ken Golden, or maybe even Michael Rubin, the CEO of Fanatics. Prediction number 6 is that we're going to see more platforms encourage sports cards as an alternative investment. For example, Fidelity now offers the chance to invest in cryptocurrency, and no, I don't think they're going to start selling shares in Babe Ruth rookie cards, but I do think other platforms might take the approach established by the platform Collectible, which sells shares in high-dollar cards. Look for other platforms to arise and just try to appeal to the young millennial that's in the middle to upper class and saying, hey, you can buy a share of this high-dollar, high-end card and over time make some money as an alternative investment. It's a good model, and I think we're going to see a lot more of it in 2024. Before we get into prediction number 7, a big quick favor real fast. I've been paying attention to our YouTube channel analytics, particularly at the end of this year, and it turns out most of the people who watch our videos don't actually subscribe to the channel, so I really have a big favor for you guys. If you would just take 5 seconds to hit the thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and then if you want to ring the notification bell so you never miss out on one of our videos, that would allow us to keep making these videos for you guys, and you might get something out of it too. We pick a lucky subscriber every Friday and send them a blaster box of cards, so you might be next. Now, prediction number 7 is I think there's going to be more collaborative community events coming down the pipe. Topps has done a good job of that too. The big example that we can point to this year is how they raffled off the number 99 rookie Wemby autograph that he'd inscribed for Bowman University Chrome. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Topps brought 99 collectors who had the redemption for the number 99 card down, and they gave one of them the lucky inscription and made it a whole experience. I think a lot more of that could be involved. I don't know if it's going to be in the NFL draft, the NBA draft, or some other kind of crazy event, but Topps is going to continue trying to engage collectors and make the collecting community a more experiential place. Number 8, I predict we're going to have some more blunders. Yes, Fanatics has taken over and done some really cool stuff with sports cards, but it hasn't been a seamless transition. Between issues with one-of-one Superfractor releases in 2 different sets, mispackaged cards, cards not being included that should have been included, and a lot more, it hasn't been smooth sailing thus far. But the one thing I will give Topps and Fanatics is that every time there's been a mistake, they have come roaring back to fix it. I don't want to say overcorrecting, but going to extreme measures to make things right. So that's been seen and appreciated within the community, but that doesn't mean 2024 is going to be mistake-free. Fanatics is a rapidly growing e-commerce giant, and sometimes when you move that fast, accidents are just bound to happen. Number 9, we're going to see some technological advances in sports cards. I don't know if that's going to be some blockchain technology added to cards so that every card has that one-to-one digital version that you can add to your digital collecting wallet. Something along those lines could be announced. Or maybe it's going to be more AI integrated grading softwares that allow you to self-grade your card before sending it into PSA. There's already some stuff like that in the works, and I think that could take a bigger place in the industry in 2024. AI is going to have a large place in the dialogue of just humanity through 2024, so of course it's going to belong in the sports card conversation as well. And then finally, prediction number 10. I will be making a 2025 prediction video at the end of this year, and that's just to say Cardlines is not going anywhere. We love you guys, we appreciate the support, and it means so much just being able to grow this community with you over the last 2 or 3 years. In particular, this YouTube channel has taken off in the last 4 months. We've grown to over 1,300 subscribers, and your support means so much to us. So let's have an even better 2024 than we did in 2023, and we'll see you on the other side with 10 more predictions a year from now.